So welcome everyone. This is an info session for our interior design and building technology programs offered by Pacific Design Academy. And so what we're going to do today is first we'll do a few introductions of the PDA staff and faculty who are in this Zoom room today. I'll give you a little bit of an introduction to the school. I'll go a little bit faster because I know that some of you have already been to an open house of one kind or another, but I'll give you kind of the highlights of our school overview. We'll talk specifically about the interior design and building technology programs, and then we'll give you some time to ask questions and find out more about our programs. So I'll go first with the introduction. My name is Jamie Kemp, and I'm the Academic Dean of PDA. I'm an art historian by training, but my role at PDA is to oversee all of the academic programs that we offer. So interior design and building technology, but also fashion design, graphic design, supervise the faculty, and just make sure that our programs are excellent and accredited and useful to students. And I do everything I can to make partnerships and make sure that our students get jobs when they leave our full-time programs. Patel, why don't you go next?
Absolutely. So my name is Patel. I am the department head for interior design and building tech at Pacific Design Academy. I've been teaching there for over a year now. I am an engineer by background, so I teach all kinds of softwares. I teach all kinds of construction methods. I am very excited to meet you all guys when you decide to join the program, and I'm excited to share some of the learnings that I can offer. Yes, Wendy.
So I'm Wendy. Most of you guys already receiving my emails and your questions. So you make me contact with me. And I'm just one of the registered. Another registered Eli also able to help if you have any questions. And I will cover the whole admission progress. And also if you have any question about the student aid support, you will able to come to me too.
Excellent. And I don't see if Isabel's here. But she might be lurking, or she might come in at some time. Isabel, you is our school manager, and she's the head of all of our operations. So she's another really important person to know about at PDA. She takes care of everything but the academic portion. So just watch for her coming in the chat or in the room. So PDA is a very, very special place to me. Like Patel, I'm coming up on a year of service here as academic dean at PDA. I'm coming from a background in universities. So specifically, I was a professor and an executive at a university called Quest University in Squamish. And before that, I was teaching at the University of Victoria. PDA definitely feels like my home, and I love it because it is really unique in its focus on offering programs that get students ready for specific careers that are also creative, right? So this is a place for people who want jobs that allow them to use their interests and use their brains. So this combination of both the creative and the technical is what we're all about here. We believe in making programs that make it so that you don't have to choose between either your passion or a successful career. We think you can have both. And in fact, we think that your passion can be really the driver of success, and it can help you along the way. PDA is a career college, and we've got these two little seals here down at the bottom of the screen that show that we're designated by the Ministry of Advanced Education, so the private training institutions branch of the BC government. So we're accredited, and we're also regulated by the Education Quality Alliance. So these are in British Columbia, these are the top two designations that you can have as a private institution. Career college is exactly what it sounds like. We offer programs that give you the specific skills you need to do a job in a particular field without a lot of extras, right? So it's quite different from let's say like a 4-year bachelor's degree where you have a lot of options, a lot of electives, and you kind of have to find your own path and make a lot of choices along the way, and then you're not really sure what you're going to end up with at the end. What we go for is a very streamlined form of education. So we are always asking ourselves questions like, what do you really need to know to become an interior designer? What are the specific skills that employers are looking for right now? And so Patel and I were always having meetings to ask ourselves, what can we cut from this program? And also meeting with advisory boards of local industry experts saying, what's the new software that everyone's using? What do you really want? What does your last great hire need to know in order to be even better? And so we are really laser focused on career preparedness in creative fields. So why career college? The first point is that our programs are focused on jobs that are actually available in the province of British Columbia right now. So we specialize in programs that train you for jobs that are classified as being high opportunity occupations by Work BC. So you can look this up. You can go to the Work BC website, and they have this designation that's called high opportunity occupations. And this might be a little bit small, but a high opportunity occupation is one where the province has said this is a good bet by asking questions like, how many jobs are going to be available in the future? How easy will it be to get a job in this field in the future? How easy is it to get a job right now in this field? And then finally, this last point, how much is the wage? So these are the criteria that they keep in mind to say, all right, these are the jobs that will really give you the best possible chance of having a great career. So interior design and building technology are certainly in these categories. They are slated for growth in British Columbia right now and in the next 10 years. So these, we think, are wonderful opportunities. By the way, this also, interior design and building technology, these ones are really easy. You can just look around and see the amount of building that's going on around you and say like, yes, obviously this is high opportunity, but it's also true for things like graphic design and photography. These are motion picture production. These are charted for growth as well. So that's our specialty. Another reason to choose career college is that we have very small class sizes. So our maximum class size is 18 students. And many of our classes are have much fewer students than that. And this really allows close relationships with faculty, lots of one-on-one instruction. And then our students actually also form really close bonds with each other as well. It also sets you up to take advantage of the next feature, which is learning by doing. So in a career college, we really focus on applied learning. So you're not going to spend a lot of time sitting in a lecture, listening to someone go blah, 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 telling you all the theoretical stuff. You will actually be doing what you want to do when you get a job, to the extent that by the time you are applying for jobs, you will have a portfolio that shows that you have already done the job that you want to do. So not only can you do it, but you have already done it in the past. all of our faculty, all of our instructors are industry experts. Our faculty all have other gigs. They practice in the field, so they are interior designers, they are engineers, they are building techs. For example, just because we've got the building technology program on the board for discussion today and interior design, the person who teaches BC building code at PDA is the head city planner for the city of Victoria. So he's got a full-time job, a big job. He's a graduate of a building technology program, but he comes here and teaches our students every week because he loves teaching and passing on his knowledge. Patel has an engineering company and does all kinds of interesting, other kinds of work. He loves teaching and he comes here. And so what that means is that all of our instructors know what's happening in the field right now. They are absolutely current in what they're doing. And also they are very connected in our community. They know everybody who's working, they have their own businesses, and that really helps us find job placements for our students. And then finally, we have these really short, laser-focused programs where there's no extra fluff. We never, ever want you to be sitting in a class thinking, why the heck am I learning this? How am I ever going to use this? I assure you that we have an answer. There is not an extra second. We meet and we think about, okay, how do we use these hours to our best advantage? Patel, do you have anything to add at this point?
Yes, absolutely. So I just wanted to mention that we've been around, as Dr. Kemp was saying, we've been around for almost 32 years. Anybody who's on the island and practices interior design or building tech, they have either been our past alumni, they have hired our students, or they have came by for a guest lecture at some point of time. So when you graduate from PDA, almost instantly, any designer or any building tech recognizes that because they have been in touch with us. They know what we teach. They know that when a student gets out of PDA, the student is very well rounded. They don't need to learn anything else to perform their job. They are just ready from day one. They are on field, on site, doing their things as they like, right? So that helps us. Also, I just wanted to mention that in terms of having the small class sizes, it also helps us instructors to look over your shoulder. We are able to look over your shoulder, let you know if you are doing things right or wrong, instead of having a class size of like 50 or 60 and we don't know what students are doing. So we actually focus on teaching you real skills, and we try to get you that one-on-one time where you are able to learn more than anywhere else outside.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if your instructor is looking over your shoulder, they can tell if things are going off the rails right away, not at assignment time. So you get mentorship all along the way. It's a small enough school that there is a lot of support and a lot of kind of monitoring of how successful you are being.
Yes, and then on top of that, we also do some very cool projects. So we work on industry projects. We do not work on saying, oh, just design a bedroom or just design a kitchen or something like that. We work on real world projects, right? So we try to motivate students to go out, interview clients. We ask them to, ask their friend to do a design. If they're not able to do them, we'll give you certain parameters, we'll give you certain criterias and ask you to design within that domain. What that does is you're not just randomly inputting your value to the design, but you are thinking about what the requirements are from the client, and you are working on real designs and not just bedroom or living room or kitchen. So that certainly helps on the side where you are doing like real projects.
Great. So our outcomes, like this is just bragging time. Our outcomes are absolutely first class for these programs. So the first point here, these are sort of how we know that we're doing a good job. So we offer recognized accredited diplomas. People all over Canada and beyond know what this is. And the programs are really broadly applicable to different regions. So it's not as though you're going to go to Alberta and be told that you don't have the right credentials, or, you know, even traveling more broadly than within Canada, you can really go anywhere with this diploma. There are some exceptions for that. So I mentioned BC Building Code, for example. But what we do in that course is we teach you how to read the code and how to apply it, which once you know how to do that, you can apply that elsewhere as well. And these are all based on Canadian standards. So, you know, this is really broadly applicable. We have a 90% industry job placement within 6 months across all of our programs. I would say it is higher in interior design and building technology. So it's that's anecdotal, but what's really, really important, you might look at other schools and see, oh, you know, PDA has 90% industry job placement. Well, this place has 97% job placement within 6 months or even 3 months. But I want to highlight the fact that this is industry job placement. So what we're not talking about here is just getting any job when you graduate. There are lots of jobs out there. We're talking about getting the specific job that you've studied for and that you're credentialized for within 6 months after graduation. Our placement rates are great. Patel's phone rings a lot with potential employers looking for students. I don't know if you want to talk about the outcomes for the last crop.
Yes, so absolutely. In terms of employers reaching out to us, so we have more employers reaching out to us all the time than there are students graduating from the program. So any student who graduates from our program at least has 2 or 3 or 4 job offers to choose their jobs from. We not only help you set up the interviews, but we also help you set up resumes, cover letters. We teach you how to write a proper professional email. So we go through each and every step along the journey so that once you apply and once you get a real job, you are able to go through the interview, you are able to pass the interview, and you are able to get the interview and the job. So what it also does is, like, our last batch of students graduated on 30th of June, and everybody from that batch has a job right now. Most of them had like 3 or 4 different jobs to teach, to accept from. What was the good part about that was also saying they could pick and choose. So they were able to say, okay, I am only interested in particular kind of kitchens and particular kind of bathrooms. They are only applying for that job and also getting multiple offers for that domain. So it's a ever growing field. There's always demand. Luckily, we have contacts in the industry where we are able to set you up with some really, really good job opportunities.
Yes, absolutely. This last statistic is one I really love. It seems a little bit funny, but we have in the province of British Columbia one of the top scores for student loan repayment. So you can go to canlearn.ca and look us up and see the statistics. CanLearn is a government site where we're all the data about who repays their student loan gets uploaded by institution, so you can check out the comparison. We have a 93% repayment rate, which is extraordinarily high, like 10 percentage points higher than other kind of similar institutions. And why we like that, what that means for us is that on one hand, of course, our students are getting jobs, but also they are good enough jobs, they are well paid enough that students are able to make good on their investment, right? So it is worth it if students have to take out loans. So this is sort of how we monitor whether we're doing a good job. We're really motivated to keep these numbers high and to increase them. And so what that means is you have a very dedicated group of staff and faculty who are willing to be there to support students, both through their studies and beyond, whether those students are just starting out into careers or those who are looking for job changes or a change of industry. Just talk a little bit, Patel, about the interior design job opportunities, courses, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of interior design jobs, when somebody graduates from us, they are well-rounded to do their own practice. We are lucky in Canada that when you are trying to do a residential plan, or when you are doing a residential plan, you actually don't need an engineer's or an architect's stamp to approve that plan. You can literally take whatever plan, if you draw it on a piece of napkin, you can take it to City of Victoria or to practically any city in Canada. And if it is drawn as per the specs and the building code, then they're bound to approve you a permit. So what that does is you are, from day one, you are able to practice that trade right away. In terms of jobs, somebody graduating from a program, there's a wide range of students that graduate from the program. Somebody comes from the field itself, they know a little bit about the field, they are able to get a junior assistant or a senior designer at an architect firm, something like that, right? If people are just learning, they start as a draftsperson, they start working with drafting in an architect's office or an interior design office. Most of our graduates find jobs with kitchen design, bath design. They are working at fixture stores, furniture stores. And when I talk about fixture and furniture stores, they're not working in sales job particularly, but they're working a combination of sales and interior design. When they have been through the program, they know how different materials interact with each other. They know how long the material will last. They know more about materials and textures and colors. So they are able to suggest various kinds of details to the client itself. So wide range of jobs. Somebody can start as a junior draftsperson in architect's office, can go up all the way to senior designer, can also go up all the way to starting your own practice. We also teach you guys in a way where you are able to start your own practice, and then somebody graduating from the same program can work with government offices, right? So our instructor for BC Building Code, he graduated from a similar program about 6-7 years ago, and now he's a City of Victoria's head planner. So in terms of job opportunities, wide range, wide spectrum, all the way from junior designer to senior designer or your own practice. So in terms of what kind of courses we teach you guys, we teach you everything that is current. We teach you softwares that are being used right now. We teach you all kinds of software, not just applicable in BC or Victoria, but we teach you softwares which are used in Europe, which are used in US. Anywhere in the world, if that software is being used, we teach you that. We have about 7 or 8 different softwares that we teach you. We teach you design principles. We teach you on saying how to manage a project, construction methods, what is proper space planning. We teach you about sustainable design, tiny homes, portfolio. The course content continuously gets updated. We work with the industry. We work with industry experts on saying what's relevant in the field right now. If they're moving from sustainable design to a tiny home design, or they're moving from tiny home to modern modular homes, then we try to, us being a career college and us being on a level where we know what we are doing, we are able to switch the course outline very fast, get that learning in before you graduate, and that way you are graduating with current knowledge and not something which is dated like 2 years before and 3 years before and not being used right now. Yes. So again, in terms of interior design projects, we work on all kinds of projects from residential, commercial, hospitality. We work on real world projects. As I was mentioning, we want you, or we motivate you to go outside, talk to real clients. We work on some very cool designs. We work on in particularly my class, we work on a project where we are taking the cast of a Netflix movie called We Are the Millers, and then designing a home for them in city of Victoria. So what that does is you are exactly designing based on the personalities of the characters. You're not designing just random homes. We have projects where you are going on site and doing site inspections. We have projects where you are going on site preparing site reports, client briefs. So most of our projects are on hands project. You're working on building your portfolio. By the time you graduate, you will graduate with some very interesting, some very cool projects, and your portfolio will be amazing. That whenever you go out, you have wide variety of projects that you have done through your academic work.
Absolutely. So there's a nice mix of classes in the program, some of which are focused on, you might have a class that's about AutoCAD where you'll do some projects that are about exploring AutoCAD. And then you'll have classes that are specifically about doing projects where you will still learn about software and deepening your understanding of software, but you will apply them really directly to a range of different kinds of projects. And then the class study time breaks down a little bit like this. So this is just a sample schedule for interior design. And so what you can expect is to have 20 hours of in-class learning per week. And then you're going to have 20 hours typically of homework per week. So these are projects, assignments. That 20 hours can fluctuate up and down. So at the beginning of the term, usually it's a little bit lighter as you would expect. And then at the end, as you get ready to submit your projects, you might spend some more time. But if you pace yourself, you can just, think about this as a full-time job and be prepared for that. You can see here that we've got the classes compressed into 4 days of in-class activities per week. So we try to do this so that you have not necessarily a long weekend, but you have 4 days on and then 3 days off. Many to most of our students have part-time jobs and families, and we find this is a really nice way to help students balance out their learning and their other obligations. And then at the end of each year for interior design, you have a work experience component. So you'll be applying for your own jobs, and we will help support you getting into these jobs, and you'll do 80 hours per summer of work experience. What about BT?
Yeah, so in terms of building technology, you are still essentially learning same kinds of software. You are still learning same kinds of things. What differs, or what's the difference between building tech and interior design is interior design is a little bit more involved with colors, textures, fabrics. It's involved with how to make things prettier. Whereas on building tech side, it works more with saying how to manage a site, how to do proper constructions, how to read proper plans, how to draw proper plans, how to pick out building code details. So job opportunities, you are still competing for similar job opportunities. You are still learning similar software, still same program. The only difference is colors, textures, fabrics. For job opportunities, building tech does have a little bit of different job opportunities where you are able to work as a project manager, you are able to work as a planner, you are able to work as a building inspector. The program involves a little bit of more construction methods and construction materials, and dives into details about exterior of the building or how the building is set up and how the building works. So the job opportunities, again, building inspector, drafter, industrial and city planner, wide variety of jobs that come out of the program as well. Yeah, again, so if we look at the courses, you'll notice that some of the softwares or most of the softwares are almost similar. The area where it differs is it dives a little bit into estimating, it dives a little bit into costing, where we are teaching you how to do proper costing for a home or how to do proper costing for a project site. Still same core principles, same design principles. We teach you same methods, and try to teach you as much of an interior design as well that's possible. And so you are learning not just building tech, but you are also graduating with some knowledge of colors and fabrics.
Right. So a key difference between these two programs is that interior design is a 2-year program and building technology is a 1-year program. So it's a little bit more compressed. It's very similar in that it's you can expect 20 hours of in-class time a week and 20 hours of homework. There's no required work experience component with this program. So it's a little bit more accelerated. You can see this is a sample schedule here. It happens to be from the first term. So you can see this is not always the case, but there are a lot of courses that are cross-listed between building technology and interior design. So you might take construction methods in the first year of building technology and then take it in the second year of interior design. So it's kind of, there is some overlap there, but as Patel said, they have kind of a different focus. So I will do some frequently asked questions, and then we can show you some student work and then give you a chance to ask some questions. So the first question, the first FAQ, which is not on here, is when's the start date? And for all of our programs, all of our full-time programs, the start date is September 26th this year. So a little bit later in September. Is financial assistance available? Yes, financial assistance is available because we have this EQA designation. We're able to accept student loans from British Columbia, any kind of general scholarship that can be accepted by a private institution, you can certainly apply for. But yes, we can take student aid BC. Wendy and Eli are really, really good experts and very helpful about how to apply for student loans. And so they will be happy to help you through that process if you need. Do we offer job placements? We do everything that we can to make sure that our students are placed in jobs at the end of or even during their studies. We don't guarantee that anybody gets any particular job. But again, as Patel mentioned, we set you up for success by doing everything from resume building workshops to mock interviews to how to write a cover letter to giving you lists of employers to contact, helping you set up interviews, providing references for our students, everything along the line. The process for getting into a work experience for interior design is more formal. And so we actually will offer you some options if you can't find one yourself for that interior design work placement. We do encourage students to find their own placements and set them up because there is a better chance that you will like it. And there's a better chance that you will be paid if you set it up yourself. But we are here to make sure that it happens for you one way or another. What's life like as a PDA student? I'll answer it with who will my classmates be? So I'll do these at the same time. Our students come from all different backgrounds. So in your class, there will be some students who are coming right out of high school. And for both interior design and building technology students, many of them say, like, I have known since I was 6 years old that I wanted to be an interior designer, or at least I wanted to move furniture around and all of this kind of stuff. So some straight out of high school. We also have many students who have finished a 4-year degree of some kind, a liberal arts degree or fine arts degree. And they really loved it. They're creative, and now they're ready for the practical applied skills to get a job. Okay, so that's quite common. And then we also have a good crop of students who are mature, and this is just what they want to do now. Maybe they've had successful careers, and this is a great passion for them. So it's a really mixed bag of students. Our students at this point are mostly local, almost all local. We do accept international students, but for a combination of reasons, especially COVID, it's a very strongly local group of students that are coming in. What's life like as a PDA student? Our students say it is very hard work, but also a lot of fun. We try to do a lot of group community things together. So especially service-oriented and community-based projects that help you practice skills and get experience. So Patel and I we're just talking about one today, right?
Yes, yeah. So we work a lot with our community partners. Last year we went out, did some building stuff for Hero Works. We went out and they were building, I believe they were building a community center for people out in Langford. So we volunteered there, but did bunch of did spend an entire day building stuff around. We also, in the past, we have worked with CNIB, where we gathered around all of the students, almost 50 students from our school. We gathered around and we sold art for the night to support the community, to support blind dogs for blind people. So we do a lot of work. We are involved with the community left and right. Almost every month there is something that comes up, and we gather around all the students and go out, have some fun, get to know the instructors better, get to know students better, get to know your classmates better.
Yeah, so it's very, very close knit. That it is a small school. Everybody knows everybody. I know every single student's name, and probably their dog's name, and I'll know if they're sick or anything like that. So it's a really close community. Anything that you want to add, Wendy, about life at PDA?
Wow, we are like totally a small family environment. So yeah, most you guys will be very familiar with us. And yeah, I love the school have like a big cafeteria area, so you guys can having lunch together and spend time with your classmates.
Yes, absolutely. Family atmosphere. In fact, Wendy's kindergartner is running around here right now as we're on this call. So,
yeah,
good. Very, very close knit. Exciting news for us. If you follow us, if you follow our newsletter, which I recommend you do, you may have seen our beautiful school here on Wharf Street and Yates. We're very happy that we are upgrading this summer. So your class will be in a brand new location just across the street in a new custom built school, still in a heritage building with a water view and big windows and all of that kind of stuff, right in Bastion Square. So we're going to be at 8 Bastion Square on the 2nd floor. And so we can't wait to show students what our beautiful new school looks like. All, new equipment, new furniture, new custom design school. It's a design school, so it's going to be great. And so it's really exciting time to be here, I'll say. So we're happy to take questions. If there's anybody in the room who has a question that they want to answer, you can either just put up your digital hand or shout it out or write it in the chat.
So both the programs do involve a little bit of calculation. So what we try and teach you is we are not making you a math expert, but when we do a program with you, we are trying to tell you saying, okay, if there's a wall, there needs to be 5 steps behind it, or there needs to be 10 steps behind it. If you are building this wall, how much material you'll need. We'll teach you that step by step, so that when you go out on site, you sound a little bit more intelligent. You sound a little bit more that you know about the trade. We set you up for success. The calculation is not to make you a math expert, but make just so that you know things a little bit better.
Yeah, and again, it's really targeted to what you're going to need to know in the workforce, in the workplace. So things like you're going to need to know how to do project management and estimating things, so costing and that kind of thing. So there's nothing extra in there. 2 questions about, is there space left for this intake? There is, but we take applications on a rolling basis. So what we suggest is that you apply as soon as possible, because it will fill. It will definitely fill both interior design and building technology. We have good numbers of students coming in for sure. And so submit your application, and we accept people who are qualified and who we think would be a good fit on a first come, first serve basis. So here are the admission requirements. So you have to have graduated grade 12 or equivalent. So some kind of GRE, though, as I said, many of our students have other kinds of backgrounds as well, but grade 12 is the minimum. We ask you for a letter of intent detailing your background and your future goals. Some people we found get a little bit worried about this. Like, I have to write something about myself, and what's that going to look like? If you're worried, talk to Wendy or Eli, and she will help you out with that and help you write something. This is just, because again, we're really focused on making sure that our students are highly successful in the field of their choice. We just want to make sure that our candidates are the right fit and that they're going to succeed in the program. So we think that our programs are better when we have the right students in them. Signature of a parent or guardian if the student is under 19. And then some students, at the discretion of Wendy, the registrar, if English is not your first language, you may be required to provide proof of language proficiency, either through a TOEFL score or something else. If you're concerned, talk to Wendy about that. But again, this is just about making sure that everybody succeeds in these programs and that the level is kept high.
There's one more question which says, any graduate rate reference? I'm not sure if I understand it correctly or not, but if you are looking for a graduate rate, I think Wendy would be the best person to reach for. She would have some more details about what kind of rates and what kind of reference provide. So please reach out to her. She is amazing. She'll reply to you right away, or will try to reply to you right away. There's one more question from Lagos, Nigeria. If your application is delayed, we will, if your application is all submitted, then us as a team, we will try to get you an answer or response as soon as possible, because we don't want it to be delayed on our end. Let us sit back and reach out to you. If something's missing, then let's get it going as soon as possible. If not, then we will find out where the application is and get back to you as soon as possible.
Yeah, and Wendy, similarly, there are lots of questions you can ask Wendy. Wendy is an expert on working with international students as well, for making sure that all of the things you need are there, from study permits, etc.
Yeah, so if international student, for this moment, for different country may have different situation. the application process will be vary, and we can try definitely. But if that not gonna to approve the study permit on time, we definitely able to help you to defer to next year.
Great. Yeah, thank you. And thanks for the nice comment, Ivy. I can't see you, but thank you for the comment. I think, yes, supportive and caring, those are two words that I would definitely use to describe our faculty. I think that that's our real strength. Any other questions? Would I show some student work? I've got some slides here that you can look at. So maybe, I don't know if you want to narrate here, Patel.
Yeah, sure. This is a project done in SketchUp. We were working on tiny modular restaurants. A particular student designed a taco joint inside a container. It's done in SketchUp, all 3D model. There's plenty of videos and work like that. If we move on, and I'll answer that question in a second for that computer as well. So this is again done in SketchUp. A particular student was working on closet design, and inside a bedroom. So behind the closet, there's bedroom. Here's we are standing in the closet. It has been post-processed into a photorealistic making software. So we are seeing image from two different softwares. Let's see. Again, this was for another living room concept that we were working on. The software is SketchUp, post-processed in Lumion. Same project. So we walked from the living room right to the bedroom. The student was working on a bedroom, full-scale bedroom with closet, like side tables, beds, anything that goes inside. This is from a different student. The student was working on a modular, not a modular, but a different style of home. Student wanted big open space, big living rooms, big washrooms. So this is also done in SketchUp, post-processed in Cinema 4D. Again, living room processed in SketchUp. And Lumion.
Really convincing. Looks really real.
From another student, this is a dining room concept that the student was working on. We try to teach you a lot about lighting, about colors, about artwork. So it involves all the details, and we want you, when you do a project, we ask you to fill up the home as if it's a real home. So we stage it with some amazing art pieces, and it ends up being a real design. This was a project done by another student. It's a cabin that was done in Whistler, I believe. 2 stories, over 3,500 square feet. The student ended up doing complete floor plans from building plans, section plans, site plans, anything that would be needed for building permit plans. That's the interior of the house that we were seeing in the last picture. Done in SketchUp, post-processed in Lumion. Again, renderings, interior renderings, post-processed in Lumion. Some more renderings. This is a concept store, retail store that a particular student was working. She is amazing. She loves doing retail stores. She has worked in retail environment for a long time, so she has eye for all things beautiful in retail. She designed a clothing shop. This is the inside, done in SketchUp, done with Lumion. That's the counter for the clothing shop. She did some amazing designs. Again, interior of the clothing shop. This is a restaurant design project that a student was working on. This is a real world project. So a student took a restaurant in Victoria. I forget the name of it, but she did an overhaul of the entire design. She added a patio. She added certain seats inside and outside, done in SketchUp, post-processed in a variety of softwares. Again, interior of the same restaurant. kitchen of the restaurant. So we teach you when you are doing a restaurant, we are not only teaching you just the exterior of the restaurant, but we are also teaching you about what kind of equipments does the restaurant have, what kind of equipments would be needed in a Greek restaurant or a Mexican restaurant or an Indian restaurant. So we teach you a wide variety of things in any course or any project that we do. Again, this is the interior of the home that a particular student was working on. Single bed, complete with washroom, fixtures, and artwork. This is one of our favorites. The student was working on a cabin in Whistler, did amazing cabin, did all the tree work, landscaping outside, did full scale of permit plans from elevations to floor plans to section details, anything that would be required for a permit. That's the interior of the house that we were seeing. Again, kitchen of the same cabin that we were seeing. Some exterior patio, not the patio weather, I guess, but some patio, indoor, outdoor living concept done by the student. Open bedroom, same cabin done by the student as well. This is from another student. The student was working on a saloon, so she actually came from a background in saloon as well, so she knew all things about where to place equipment, and she did this project with us where we empowered her with tools and techniques on how to design a proper saloon. So again, a saloon done from full scale floor plans to section details to elevations to renderings.
Yeah, that's something really nice that we see in both of these programs in interior design and building technology, is that students are really able to use their own backgrounds, no matter what that is in, like whether they have a background in construction, or we had a student with a background in home health care, or students with a background in, salon and beauty or retail, project management, people with business backgrounds. They use those backgrounds to find their careers and make great work.
Yeah, that's the exterior of the saloon that we were seeing. Yeah,
great.
So coming back to the questions, I think we had a couple questions. Do we need to bring our own laptops to the classes, or computers are provided? So all our labs, there's 2 or 3 labs that we have in school. They all have really high-end computers, because most of interior design softwares or building tech softwares, they need processing power. So the computers are there, free to use. You can use them anytime when the lab is not filled up with students. Most of the time, we also try to stay one day of the weekend open, where if student needs to finish a project, then that is an option to do it in school. However, we do recommend that you have some kind of laptop, so that if you are writing reports or something, you are not sitting in school and writing a report. You can go home, work on your report or something at your own pace and time. In terms of what kind of laptops to bring, for school, I would recommend you bring a PC-based laptop. If you have a Mac, will work. Just come to the first few classes. If you need a new Mac or something, I can recommend you something after you know what we are doing. Most of the time, the Macs are actually good. Macs are very well powered. You wouldn't need a new Mac. If you are coming with a PC, make sure that the laptops have limited processing power. So anything that is an i7 has a decent enough graphics card would work. I can send you some more details, but laptops this day and age, like, they can cost you anything from $700 to like $3,000. So you don't want something super expensive, not something cheap, but a laptop in the range of like $1,000 will do. If you are going to spend a little bit more money or anything on laptops, my recommendation would be just wait, come to school, try a few courses. You'll be able to judge for yourself what kind of laptop you need. So just try it out. See me in person whenever you come to school. Yeah. So that question might be for Wendy. Wendy, Natalia has a question of when do we pay the full tuition fees?
The payment time will be quite depends on what you want to do. We have several options between full payment 3 weeks before the school start, or 50-50 in between the first school date and the first semester. And the other option is if you apply the student loan, that part will most likely will cover from the government loan, and then you pay the rest that government did not approve. Yeah. So if you have any question for that, you can just send an email to me, and I can like share more information with you.
Yeah, that's where I was getting. If you have any questions about tuition fees or anything, just feel free to reach to Wendy. She's amazing. She'll reply to you right away. Yeah.
Other questions?
Yeah.
See if I've got a video here. Do you want to see a video? Want me to show a video?
Yeah, I think we have 5 minutes. We can watch a
I've
video.
got-
Yeah. And then for those of you guys, if you have any question or anything, I'll let you know before we start the video. So if you have more questions, if you want to see us in person, come by to school, let me know. If you are double-minded, whether or not this program's for you or not, I am always teaching courses here and there. Feel free to drop in any of my courses. You don't have to reach out in advance. You just have to find out what the schedule is. Just come by to any course, any lecture. I am 100% sure that when you go out of that lecture, you'll be amazed at what we do. You'll be amazed at what kind of learning we bring on. And most of the time, you will be motivated saying, okay, this is for me and I want to do this. So just come by, see me at the school, find me at the school, and I can help you in any way if you are double-minded about anything.
For sure. Okay, this is just a 45-second one. Let's see. I've never showed a video on this before. So this is an example of a student project.
Yes, so we have one more question from Chris. So Chris,
okay, here's another question. So if we've applied for funding, but it's still pending, should we still enroll ASAP? Yes, absolutely. No question there. You should still enroll. Because the decisions about funding, whether it's government funding or something else, it usually lags behind the enrollment process. So the concern is that if you wait to enroll before you until after you've received your funding, there might not be any spots left. And for things like student aid BC, you actually need to be enrolled before you can even apply. So you need some kind of, and for a lot of scholarships and loans of various kinds, you actually need your proof of enrollment and proof of acceptance in order to go through that funding process. So yes, absolutely. And Wendy can help with that.
Yeah, so
okay, good question. Is the building technology program and interior design in class only? So that's a great question. Most of these programs, for the full-time programs, happen in the classroom. There are some circumstances in which we might have a class that is online, but we're very, very picky about when we do that. And the only reason that we would take one of our classes online is if we find an expert of some kind in a place that's not Victoria, who we really want to teach it and who we know will do a great job, then we will make some accommodations to give that learning experience for students. If you're interested in a fully online program, we have one of those as well that we really haven't covered tonight. It's called the Residential Interior Design and Technology Program. And that's a 1-year fully online interior design diploma program. It's quite, I would say it's more on the self-directed side. Every class has an instructor, and you do have opportunities to meet with the instructors regularly, have contact with the instructors, but it's more of a kind of on your own time. There's nothing, you don't have to be in any particular classes. So that's an option. It's for a really specific kind of student who really wants that flexibility and that ability, students who are working and who are quite disciplined and need that flexibility really do well in those classes.
It's also for students who
Oh,
are
Patel, I
actually,
think you need to unmute.
yeah, and it's
Or at
also
least
for,
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, so it's also the online program is also for students who are actually working professionals in the field and are looking for promotion or something, right? So it's for somebody working in a furniture shop, and they are looking to just learn few skills about doing drafting and stuff like that. So it is an option. In-person program is always better because we are able to, as we were talking, we're able to see over your shoulder and guide you a little bit and say, hey, you know what, let's try this option instead of this, and it will work better. So there is an option. My recommendation would be in person. However, we do have that flexible program as well.
Sorry, I don't know if you can hear me. Oh, there, now I can hear you.
Any more questions?
You guys are great. Just 7 o'clock, no question.
Easy. Well, thank you for coming, Monica. I hope that you join us. I don't know. I know we have some students who have already applied who are in this info session tonight.
Yes.
So one of those. But anyways, we're excited for you to join us. Thank you for coming. We're happy we can stay if people still have questions, or you can email us. Wendy's a good point of contact for you, but we're happy to answer any of your questions.
Yeah.
Thanks, Abigail. Thanks, Ivy.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much, Simone.
Bye.
Chris. Hope to see you soon. I like your dog.
It's cute.
It's happy in the car.
Thank you, Joanna. And Twin, yeah, I emailed you already. So yeah, if you have further question, yeah, you can check with me again.
Thanks, Toyin. Hope you can join us. Bye, Ivy.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks, Patel.
Thanks so much, Jamie.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Well, good night. I'm sure you still have things to do tonight.
Yeah, just getting started. Nice getting
I
started.
bet you. I bet you are. I
Yeah.
bet you are. Okay, we'll see you soon.
All right, thanks so
Bye. I
much.
will end the meeting now.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye.